Yeah, but remember, there's a fundamental lesson that people do not like to see their friends succeed. Unfortunately, people are greedy. People want for themselves, and a lot of people will not be happy about their friends succeeding over them.
Yep. But if you were to piece that up with friends, like let's say you truly believed in somebody, you're like, yo, this guy's fire.
Yeah.
Let's say you just got, I don't know, 5 friends that really believed in you. Split that cost down. Make it a lot cheaper. You know, one person has to make it before everybody else makes it. I really do believe in that. I really think one person has to make it, and then that's where egos have to go to the side. It can't be, why am I not on the limelight? You know, I think really pick out who's performing the best. Once the one tide rises, all other tides will rise. Everybody else in that camp will go forward.
Well, what's going on, guys? We're here with Dardan, the owner of 1331 Recordz.
Yes, sir. Right? Yes, sir.
Master the creator. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about the music industry, some marketing that I know you guys are starting now heavy on.
Yes, sir.
And just growing out, especially for up-and-coming artists, I think is a big thing. A lot of people are now removing the record label from the conversation, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a lot of independent artists. Social media is really changing the game, so we'll just dive into all that.
Oh, yeah.
But start with Dardan. Dardan,
man,
what's going on?
Shoot, man. Firstly, I want to say thank you for having me on the podcast. But, man, I guess to kind of go over to touch up, for those of you that don't know what 1331 Records is we're an independent record label and recording studio. We're the first recording studio in history to have an NFT collection on the Solana blockchain that gives discounts on studio time and services. Okay. We're also one of the only studios I know in Florida, if not the U.S., that accepts cryptocurrency as a payment, but only Dogecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin and Solana. That's it. That's the only ones I accept right now.
No Bitcoin?
Bitcoin too. Bitcoin too. Yeah, but that's it. I don't accept anything else past that.
Sheeb?
Nah, no sheep. No sheep. Not yet. I'm more of a Dogecoin addict right now. This is not financial advice. Not financial advice. But yeah, Dogecoin to the moon though for sure.
I'm a sheep believer.
Yeah? Fuck yeah. But the reason we're called 1331 is Virginia is one of the first 13 states. California is the 31st state, and we represent music coast to coast, or from 13 to 31. My biggest thing for 1331 is that we don't want to be just a record label or a recording studio. We want to be a movement. You know, anybody can start a record label. Anybody can start a recording studio. But what makes you different? What's your differentiating factor? Our differentiating factor is that we're not in it for the money. We're not in it for the views. We're in it for impact. We're in it for being a brand. We're in it for, when you think 1331, it's for hustlers, go-getters, people out there that are really trying to turn their passions into full-time careers. Yeah. That's the goal of 1331. So we're really big on community, which is why we created a thing called the Artist Networking Hub, which is a WhatsApp group with over 1,000 members strong. We have a Discord channel with over 300 members strong, 1,300 members in total as of right now, and growing.
1331.
Yeah, you're right.
1331, baby.
Yeah, but you know, so like we've been growing right now, and we're trying to be more than a record label, more than a recording studio. As I said, a movement. So that's why we created this channel, the Artist Networking Hub. It's basically a big ecosystem where videographers, artists, photographers, editors, audio engineers, producers, event coordinators, business owners, you name it.
Your community builder.
They're all in there, and they help each other by posting what they got going on. Rather it's an event, rather it's an opportunity going on, rather it's a DJ letting other DJs know that, hey, I need somebody to come in on this gig. I can't make it. Whatever, you know? Yeah. We've helped DJs get bookings, photographers get bookings. We've helped other recording studios get bookings. You know, it's not about us. It's about the bigger picture. And I truly do believe that, as I've noticed in Miami, everything is click-based. Everything's based off of how much followers you have, how much clout you have. And I don't really like that type of system. I like more the system of, I want to help you with no expectations in return just because you're a good person, you know? And that's what we're trying to move forward with. That's exactly what our brand's all about.
You're definitely not from Miami, my friend.
No.
You're definitely not from Miami. Yeah, well, honestly, that's good to hear because Miami is just full of a lot of fake shit, unfortunately. I know this personally because I've hired a lot of those fake shits. I swore to myself I would very much never hire any marketing agency in Miami. That's for sure.
No.
For damn sure. But that's actually part of the reason why I started this marketing agency is because I've had so many of those bad experiences.
You
But
get these crazy freaking quotes too,
bro,
like
quotes,
10K a month, and then it's just like, what am I gonna get in return?
SEO.
Yeah,
About it.
that's about it nowadays. It's crazy.
It's insane. And then all these guys that pretend that they're social media managers that don't know shit about social media or running ads or anything.
Or they're just a facade and white labeling things and know absolutely nothing.
Correct.
You
There's a
know,
lot of them.
and nothing wrong with that. I'm not attacking anybody because again, you know,
I'm
get it how you
attacking
get
them.
it.
I'm attacking them. Fuck
But
that. We're talking about being good people.
yeah, well, I'll say this: if you white label it correctly, you could still be a good person. Because like, let's say somebody
Yeah.
white labeled your service, right? You do good job. So like, let's say I had somebody, I referred them to you, and I white labeled. I was like, this is 1331's marketing, right?
Yeah.
I know you do a good job, something like that. But if you're white labeling and you have no idea how to project manage, that's where it becomes an issue. That's where like your clients will get mad at you.
But
Things
that's
aren't
most of
going to
the
go
people.
well.
Most
Yeah.
of the people in Miami are about the quick buck. They're like, all right, let me get this, for 2 months good, and then they're going to dip, and then I'm going to get another client. Like, that's a lot of them. So, like, I feel like that's a huge issue here in Miami where everybody just fake trying to sell an immediate short-term, like, thought on giving you a service. They take the money, and then they give you a shitty service, and then they're on scamming somebody else. Like, that's
Yep.
a huge issue. South Miami specifically.
It's I think the main reason for that is a lot of people here are barely really staying above ground. Like, you know, like they're barely making it above water. So it's like they got to get it how they can or whatever. I'm not co-signing that. I think that's definitely bad. But you know, that's what kind of differentiates you and I. You know, like then you have the people that they don't talk about the months where I made no profit that month. Maybe I just barely made it afloat. You know, but from the outside in, it looks like we're doing great. Everything's amazing, but you don't even see that the house is on fire right now.
I mean,
And we got a cup of water to try to take it out.
that's entrepreneurship in general.
Yeah, you know, so
That's funny.
that's kind of what it is. And it's just like for me, it's always been about the relationship. I don't mind taking the lower end of the stick sometimes if it means helping the client. Like for instance, I'll use a use case that we recently did. We had a client of ours in New York, and you know, budget was tight for them. I told him, hey, look, you know what? Don't even worry about paying up front right now. Just pay the deposit. I know that in our contract it has that once we finish the work, which will be finished in about 2 weeks, you end up paying the second half. I'm going to go based off of trust right now. I'm going to give you an additional 30 more days. So instead of getting it done in 2 weeks, which is what we originally had, oh, bless you, you know, we ended up extending it just so that we can make sure that they were okay, that they could recoup some money before that they were able to pay that next tab. So it's like sometimes it's okay with taking the lower end of the stick. And we even gave them such a crazy deal that I didn't really make anything. I just paid my videographers. I paid my editors. I paid everybody that needed to get paid. I made sure the project went smooth. And I took the lower end of the stick. But you know what that turned into? A 6-month contract. So, you know, it's just like sometimes you got to do that. Or even sometimes you have to allocate things that maybe you have somebody in your team, but because you want the client to have a better experience, you might outsource somebody else instead. Like one of my clients, we needed somebody that could do their ad management for him. I love our guy that does our ads. He's amazing. But I found somebody else that was even better. That's all they do is ads. That's it, you know? So we ended up going over, and I was just like, hey, look, one of my buddies, his name's Chuck. Shout out to Chuck, by the way, phenomenal at ads. I was like, look, Chuck, I have a client for you. I'm going to send over. I need you to basically get this done for me. And, you know, we switched it over to the client. Client was super happy because they're like, oh, wow, why didn't you decide to take that on? You could have made more revenue. I was just like, it's not about me. It's about you. I don't mind taking the lower end of the stick because I know for a fact if I give you good results and I get you the best team possible, which is what a true project manager needs to do when you have a company, because you do project management constantly as a CEO. Yeah. You have to constantly oversee everything. And that's exactly what we did. We made sure to give them the best experience we could, even if that meant taking away from our own pockets, just to ensure that client would get his needs met.
Well, there you go. That's about brand building and community building. People, at the end of the day, if they have good pricing but shitty service, they're not coming back to you. If you have high pricing even, but good service, they're coming back to you. And if you have good pricing and good service, you guaranteed a sale and you're guaranteed a community member. And building a community and people that come back to you at the end of the day is really how you build a company overall, because those people will trust you for forever and they'll come back to you and continue to use you. And they're going to give you referrals, which referrals by word of mouth is probably one of the best things for business by far. It's pretty much guaranteed sales overall over the longevity of your business. So I highly agree with everything that you're saying and appreciate that there's somebody in Miami that actually does that.
Yeah.
Especially in the record industry and music industry. I dabble in the music industry for a little bit. We had an artist on board, which dealing with artists is not easy.
No, not at all. It's insane.
Dealing with artists is probably one of the hardest things ever. But I really like the music industry overall. I really like the opportunities that there are for people, especially now that social media is growing. It's a huge avenue.
I think marketing companies are now the new record labels, because if you think about it, they're enacting and doing everything that a record label used to do. Main reason you're not seeing what happened beforehand. Excuse me. But damn, that was terrible. But edit that part. Actually, keep it. Why not? But fuck it. Why not? But yeah, the main reason you're not seeing it is if you think about how much money it takes just to break an artist.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like $250K. Think about all the media outlets you have to get into, all the videography, the outfit changes, making sure that the look fits. There's so much things you have to pay for.
So I don't believe in that anymore.
You know?
I think the music industry has changed completely.
Oh yeah,
then.
it doesn't work like that anymore. Which is why I said, like, beforehand, that's what it was. Yeah. Nowadays it's more along the lines of short form content. Nobody's really doing music videos anymore. It's more along. If you look at a lot of artists, their ticket sales are down too right now because it's if you're not doing storytelling or relating with whoever your audience is, people aren't going to want to pop out. Which is why, like, if you look at somebody like NBA YoungBoy, bro, all of his concerts are selling out because he makes relatable stuff to what his genre of music style is. And people are going to eat that up because he's just being real. Not everybody can rap about having a McLaren, this, that, the third. Like, I can't relate to that. I don't got a McLaren. It just goes over my head. I don't care. But then when you listen to somebody like Rod Wave, who's giving you something and making you feel something, an emotion, it makes people want to go to the show.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I think marketing companies are now turning more into that record label aspect because they're giving you what you actually need, which is you need more views. You need more people and exposure to know who you are. It's like having a good restaurant. You could have the best restaurant or best music, but if nobody knows about your music or knows about your restaurant,
they ain't coming.
You're going to close eventually.
I think the huge gap here is that a lot of independent artists or artists that are starting up, they don't realize that that is the future of where things are going. And for them, they need to see the music videos. Like, they still have that in their mind. They don't realize that these things have changed. Like, that was the huge issue with the artist that I had brought on.
Mm-hmm.
And we were starting with her and we were growing her. And then, like, she didn't like the idea that we weren't doing music videos to the way that she wanted. And I was like, well, I'm not spending a shit ton of money for you to basically not make any money.
Yeah.
This is a business, right?
Makes no sense.
And you need to make money. And the only way to make money really in this industry, like, Spotify barely pays. Like, the amount of streams that you have to make in order to make any money on Spotify is like in the couple million streams.
Every 1 million, 4,500, depending on the stream.
Depending on the streams.
Yeah.
Plus now, Spotify, I think, changed that you now have to have a certain amount of followers in order to even monetize.
Yeah.
So, like, YouTube pays better. TikTok pays better.
Just streaming alone.
Streaming services pay a fortune. Then ad revenue from, like, doing any promotions for other brands is also a huge way. So, like, I feel like the up-and-coming artists, depending on the age group, obviously, but
yeah,
most of these up-and-coming artists, they don't see this vision of what the marketing firms see. And they see, like, hey, I want a $4,000, $10,000 music video.
Ridiculous.
But, like, then you ask them, all right, but how are you going to make that money back? They're not the ones investing the money. So they think that the record label is just going to put out that money. But why would the record label put out that money if you're not going to make that money back on that song?
Yeah, it makes no sense at all.
Makes no sense. But, that was a huge falling out that I had with the artist that I was managing. And it's all good. Everything's meant to be. But it did definitely instill in me that I do want to get a little bit more involved in the music industry. So I am looking currently for another female artist that would be interested.
I might have someone for you. We have a client of ours that we just ended up adding into 1331 Records. Her name is DJ Sky High Baby. Have you heard of her by chance?
I have not.
Okay, she's on the Zeus Network.
I've heard of that.
So it's a show called Baddies, and they're on tour right now. She's the official DJ. She recently just ended up linking up with Diplo, Neon, Iggy Azalea, a bunch of individuals. And, she was on tour not too long ago with Moneybagg Yo, Glorilla, a few others. And I can't say who we're about to go on tour with in February just yet. because of NDAs, but we are about to do another big tour very, very soon. I think this might be somebody that might be a great project that you and I could both delve into together. She already has the following. She already has the work ethic. She already has contracts. She already has the motion moving for her.
What does she need?
Honestly, just excess support with marketing. Everything she posts does well. It's just that now it's more along the lines of making sure that funnel is correct, and then making sure her EPK and stuff gets sent off to the right individuals, rather it's brands, rather it's X, Y, or Z. But she has a lot of potential right now, and everybody in the industry loves her because, again, she has an open mind to things. She works really hard and diligently, and she doesn't have a diva attitude. She has an understanding of, like, I guess you would say, more of that student aspect of I can still learn.
Yeah. So I'm super down. I'm always interested. Ideally, for me personally, I would like to look for somebody in the Latin space. Latin music is getting more and more into the United States. I think
it's going
huge
crazy,
opportunity,
especially Miami.
But on top of that, I like to look at what your cost for bringing a person up is. What are the marketing costs? And the reality is to market these people in South America, it costs you a fraction of the click.
I'm going to offer you this. Whoever you end up wanting to do that with, we'll do a joint venture. I'll give all the studio time, everything else like that. You don't have to worry about a single dollar on that. Any and all the beats, because you already know how expensive it is to get beats and stuff like that.
All right, so we were discussing about Latin artists. But yeah, so I'm super down. I know it costs a significant amount of money on creating the beats, studio time.
I really don't think it's going to be that much. So it's like, I feel like right now, artists have this misconception that it's going to be a shit ton of money. And I really do believe with today's technology and what we have going on, even with making content, like you can use something like Sora, right, for AI. And you can make the most ridiculous content ever without, you just have to be descriptive. That's really it. You have to be really good at prompting, but then you can come up with some crazy concepts. Even let's say you used it just to kind of map out a video concept for yourself before you went out and actually did it. You could do something like that. I don't think it really takes that much. I think what it does take is having a strategy, and it has to be disruptive. Such as, like, have you seen those videos where it starts off where it might show a guy getting robbed, right?
Yeah.
But it's from a third-party person. Like, it looks like it was from Snapchat, or it looks like it was just somebody from the general public recording it. Like, they weren't meant to see it, but they were recording it and they caught it on camera.
Yeah, the low-end shooting is doing really well.
So it starts off as a low-end shot, and then finally it disrupts into what the actual person is doing. Like, for instance, it might showcase somebody. Like, I saw this one video. This guy goes, "Oh, story time. This guy, I tracked my car. I saw that they stole my car, but he didn't know I have a tracker. Oh, he's getting out the car right now. Idiot. I'm about to go get my car back." Whatever, right? And then boom, the song started. He went inside his car, but it made you want to watch it because you're like,
yeah, you need
what's
that
happening?
Hook. You need that hook.
I think if you did that, 30 videos, do that for 6 months, 30 videos each month, but high end, kind of like that, whatever. Mixed in with filler content, because 30 videos is still not enough. You really do need 90 videos a month.
Roughly, yeah.
Minimum, because you need to be doing 3 to 4 videos a day, at least.
Unfortunately, yes.
But if you did the filler content, where, you can't just say, I dropped a song.
Yeah.
Like maybe you could say, I showed my newest song to my best friend. This was their reaction. Something like that, right? It's just got to have a story behind it.
Or even just asking the people what they think about the beat, asking people what they think about the like, you can choose a line in the song and just take that line and put it as a quote and ask people what they think. Yeah. Or what they would change in that song.
1,000%. But I think if you did that, on average, you can get about 30 videos for like $2,000 a month, whatever, right? That's still pretty expensive for the everyday artist.
Yeah. Not including record time.
Yeah. But if you were to piece that up with friends, like let's say you truly believed in somebody, you're like, yo, this guy's fire.
Yeah.
Let's say you just got, 5 friends that really believed in you. Split that cost down. Make it a lot cheaper. One person has to make it before everybody else makes it. I really do believe in that. I really think one person has to make it, and then that's where egos have to go to the side. It can't be, why am I not on the limelight? I think really pick out who's performing the best. Once the one tide rises, all other tides will rise. Everybody else in that camp will go forward.
Yeah, but remember, there's a fundamental lesson. that people do not like to see their friends succeed. Unfortunately, people are greedy. People want for themselves, and a lot of people will not be happy about their friends succeeding over them.
It's insane to me. I've never liked that concept because I'm such a team player that I look at my teammates, I look at everybody around me, and I wish nothing but success for them. So it's like, for instance, we're doing a collaboration with a company called Crispies, right?
Yeah.
I truly believe in what they got going on. They're basically, imagine a higher end Chick-fil-A, right?
Okay.
Their sandwiches are better than Chick-fil-A. They have
I
this
saw you
really
in the
dope,
video.
yeah. So they have this really nice brand. They have this really cool concept. I would love to see him win, right? I'd love to see the rest of my team win. But he asked me before, he's like, hey, I know you do music. Why didn't you pitch yourself to do the videos for, but you picked somebody else on your team? He's like, I know you do music. I know you're older. I know that you've been wanting to do music.
Yeah.
Why did you not pitch yourself? And I told him, I was like, look, it's not about me. It's about the team. And I think this artist on my team has more potential at the moment because of the content that they're making, because of everything else they got going on. Let's push them.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what made him want to work with us. They saw like, oh, he's a real team player. He didn't even want to. I could have pushed myself and said, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
But it's not about me. I want everybody in my team to succeed. And that's the one thing I love about my team. Everybody in my team has that mindset. It took me years to find those right people. Simon has that mindset. He's our COO. Asaji, our CTO, has that mindset. We have Kenneth Medlock, our creative director. He has that mindset. We have Amari. He has that mindset. We have Marcel. He has that mindset. We have Brazo, who's an artist. He has that mindset. We have One Take Mikey, also another artist. He has that mindset. We have Savvy Mulatto. He also has that mindset.
Yeah.
We have, you name it, everybody that's going down to this, like they all have that one mindset.
Yeah.
We have Joshi, another person that has that mindset. All of these artists. And I love that about our team. It's really hard to find.
Impossible to find, actually.
Dude, it's insane.
Once you find somebody good on your team, keeping them is probably the most valuable thing you can do for your company.
Oh, yeah.
It's having good people around you to build your brand with you, whether employees, partners, whatever, is one of the hardest things to find. Finding people you can trust in this world.
Yeah.
Another hard thing to find. So when you do find somebody that you can go 100% with, it's invaluable. There's nothing more valuable than that in your company. Because obviously you can't do everything yourself, right? And you need people you can rely on if you're planning on growing. That's also another huge mistake that I think a lot of entrepreneurs make is they try to do everything themselves, but how are you supposed to do everything yourself when there's a million things to do?
Yeah, no, you can't.
You can't. And then you have your personal life that you got to mix in. You got, if you got kids, a wife, any of that, like you can't do everything. So you got to delegate and you got to find people that are good, and finding those good people, once you do find them, you got to keep them no matter what. It's just the truth. But it's awesome that you have a good crew. It's fantastic. Thank God. I'm very happy to say that we have a good crew going for us also. Now we're making a lot of changes as well. But let's talk about, you're in the music industry, you got your own record labels. So are you bringing on artists under your record label? Are you doing?
Yeah. At the moment right now, we recently signed Jabari 911. He's one of our artists. And then we also recently signed Brazo Bands. We signed these two artists. I don't care too much about how many monthly listeners you have. I don't care how many followers you have. I only care about work ethic. Are you willing to work?
Yeah.
Are you willing to do the videos? Are you willing to network? Are you willing to go out and do what it actually takes? Because I think that's way more than the guy that's talented and not willing to do that. I think eventually that guy is going to crash out and nothing's going to really happen of it.
Yeah.
We see it time after time again. So I have a lot of conviction with these artists. I really think that they're going to do really well for 2026. So we just signed them.
6, baby.
Yep.
What's the names again?
Jabari 911.
Jabari 911.
And then Brazo Bands.
Brazo Bands. I don't know. For me, personally, I think like now, this is a personal opinion. Obviously, there's always going to be people I want to listen to that Cardi B style rap. But I feel like the real shit is what's changing the game right now. So like, especially for independent artists, right? So let's take, for example, one of my favorite independent artists, more so on the marketing side that I think is, I have two. Hangover Gang. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I haven't heard of him yet. You're going to put me on. Where are they from?
He's from here. He's from.
He's in Miami?
I think he's Florida. I don't know though, but he's probably one of the biggest up and coming independent artists in regards to he puts out a shit ton of content, and all of his rap, almost all of it, has to do with either God, the politics in the U.S.,
Yeah.
or just like real world shit, and he's not rapping about all the fake shit. So like I can fully relate to that, right? I think most people can. You know, he talks Republican, Democrat, he talks, you know, presidential, he talks God and faith and unity, and I think that that's huge. Then you have, you know, Dax. I don't know if you know Dax.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Dax also, you know, he just broke a couple million streams on one of his songs. And his
The artist in LA, right?
is he in LA? I'm not sure.
Used to be a janitor, now rapper. That Dax, is that the one we're talking about?
No. At least I don't think so. I mean, this guy, he looks a little country. It looks like he's from Georgia. Black dude. But he does like these. He had one song that was literally about like, you know, drinking your problems away and, you know, having a family and needing to.
Does he have like really crazy music videos? Like they're like over the top?
Nah, his are super simple. Super simple. Like it's
Yeah,
literally.
we're thinking about the different guy.
He uses his wife and his kid in the video. Like, it's like him walking into a room and like stumbling in with a bottle of alcohol, and then his wife like throws something at him, and then like to wake him up, and then it's just him popping in front of a microphone, and he sings. But he breaking records on views on his streams. But like, I feel like the real world shit, and especially like the more and more fake stuff that we're having in this world, like AI, you know, Sora, for example. Now everybody's having these crazy AI videos. But I feel like people are starting to want to connect with real people and real audiences and real interactions versus like, you know, now it's coming out more and more about how OnlyFans, like you're not really actually talking to the girls, you're talking to some dude who's managing the account.
Yep, from Pakistan or some crazy country.
Like anywhere. But from that to like AI girls and AI models and just everything becoming AI or fake shit or people being fake, I feel like the real stuff, like real audiences. So like I think one of the biggest things for music in general also is going to be localized talent is going to start blowing up more than the grand talent.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a big thing, especially within the inner cities.
Yeah.
So like
another thing too with AI is it can only do up until what it's taught. So it's just like a lot of people pitch it as the future, but I pitch it as our past history mixed in with the present. That's all it is. It's our past history mixed in with the present of what it can come up with based off of what it's been basically taught, what it's learned.
That's till today.
Yeah.
But within the next 3 years, we're going to see a huge shift. And at a certain point, there's going to be a shift in AI where the AI character becomes alive, where it can actually talk for itself. There's going to be that point where we're at the... AI's been around for centuries because obviously the government has used it to funnel all their information for, you know, whether it's going through any terrorism watch list or scanning any text messages or any information that they gather. Like, there's no way that individual people are going through all that. It's
no way.
They've used AI for centuries. Now it's just becoming available for individual people like us, for the general public. And next is going to be where we see the AI generational growth, which is the AI actually can now do everything for you, or it can talk for itself. You know, even I like to bring up Sora because it's the new fad right now, but AI video generation is something newer. You know, that just dropped recently.
Oh, yeah.
Versus pictures were bad before, and now pictures are fantastic. So I
think videos are insane, and vocal. Yeah, the music game now. Suno AI is insane too with music now.
Yeah, and now they're having beatmakers AI. So like, there's a whole shift happening of AI taking over everything. And I think the business will be there for AI, but I think overall people want that real connection. And I think I heard Gary Vaynerchuk actually talking about this recently, that he predicts that the next future of business of successful businesses is interacting. So like people getting paid to go on a walk with you. That's insane. But that's a reality, is people are so used to this digital age of fake shit that they're not used to the real interactive stuff. So personally, I think for up and coming artists, obviously creating their own real content, and then also creating their localized events is going to be big. So I would love to get on that train with the right artist, obviously. So when you do find a good, I would like to stay with the Latin music. Yeah. I like Latin music. Number one.
Does it have to be a female for you, or does it could be either?
I think females are easier to market. Honestly,
I agree on that.
There's very few good female talent. Number one, they're harder to work with overall. Unfortunately, it's a reality that a lot of the artists in general, they're always try to be perfectionists in their work. And when it comes to women in general, already some women have a predisposition to like body dysmorphia, the way they look on camera, the way they look in videos, the way they look or sound. They always try to make things perfect. They always try to make things a little bit too much over the top versus keeping it simple. Like, people don't need to see you dressed up in full makeup anymore.
No, not at all.
People want to see the real you. That's the whole thing that I've been saying about connecting to the person and connecting to, the brand even. Why are brands blowing up behind a person, right? Because Jake Paul, KSI have Prime. That blew up. That's one of the biggest beverage companies in the world because people connected to them too. Or what was that video of the guy that was skateboarding with the Capri Sun, I think it was, and it blew up, and they ended up signing him to a massive deal. I think his name was Jerry, if I'm not mistaken. But there's so many brands that are blowing up behind people, and because people
buy into people,
people buy into people.
Think of the Elon effect.
Tell me.
Yeah, think about the Elon effect. I mean, again, not financial advice, but the guy, as soon as he says anything Doge related.
Yeah, Doge.
Skyrockets. It skyrockets, and it's crazy. Yeah. It's just kind of like people buying to people. It's kind of like if somebody were to start a new company and they really like the CEO and they saw that they had past success, they're more likely to want to jump on board because they're buying into that person.
Yeah, no, 100%. You are buying into the person. So why should people buy into Dardan at 1331? That's the real question.
Man, I think the question is why they shouldn't. The reason I'd say is a few different factors. We try to stay at the forefront of technology, no matter what it is.
That's huge.
So most people in the music industry, even if you do try to just focus in on, let's say, just the music, eventually something else is going to catch up. I'm trying to stay at the forefront of technology. I think technology is the way to anything. It doesn't matter what business you're in. You're always going to use tech at some sort of aspect.
And where the attention is.
So I think rather that's from a marketing perspective, rather that's from even daily operations aspect, whatever it is, I think it's only going to make things smoother and better for you. So not only are we trying to stay at the forefront of technology, but we're trying to build a legitimate ecosystem. It's really about human connection for us. It's really about what you were talking about, that interactiveness where we meet people, we shake your hand, we let you know our mission, we let you know what we're trying to do. And it's more about less of generating dollars, more of generating impact. So why somebody should invest in 1331 or consider us would end up being more along the lines of that. We're not in it for the money. We're in it for the long run. We're in it for turning passions into full-time careers. And I think that when you end up doing something out of the goodness of your heart and you're doing it because you love it and you have a passion for it, that there's not another person that's going to do better than you at that thing, no matter if this guy's in it or this guy's in it for just the money. They might not end up giving you the best deal, the best whatever you're looking for. They might not be in it for what's good for you. They might only be in it for what's good for them. How can I make the most money? How can I maximize profits, which is what most companies will think of.
Yeah.
We don't think that way. We think, how can we create the most impact? How can we actually help? Whether that's from our events and being a platform and allowing artists to come in where we don't charge a single dime. We don't even charge people to come to our events. Come in, come be part. We want to let you know about things that are going on. Or even an event we just had yesterday called Beat Lounge. Beat Lounge is surrounded around DJs and producers. We notice a lack of how can DJs come in and practice their sets and meet other DJs, which is ultimately how you get your bookings.
Yeah.
DJs want to know, how do I get more bookings? Well, how many DJs are you networking with? Because I don't know about you, but if my DJ is booked, you know what he does? Hey, what's good, John? Are you free? I can't do Friday. Can you do it?
Yeah.
It's all about relationship building. So we're building an ecosystem for people to actually relationship build and do what they need to do in order to create their passion into that full-time career. And it's all about relationships. I really do believe in that. Even with business, like, this is kind of like something that you see a lot of back in the day where you used to see people take people golfing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They did it to relationship build, to get to know each other,
Shit,
to make sure that's like, I want to work with this guy because it's more than just a business or more than just a handshake.
Yeah. You got to know that you have somebody there that you can trust.
Exactly.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, are you a religious guy, would you say?
What's the I think I'm an omnist. I just recently came across that word too.
Oh,
so
what?
An omnist. Are you heard?
Even a bigger presence.
So do you know what omnism is, my chins?
I mean, I know what the word omnipresent means.
Okay, so an omnist basically means that you don't have necessarily one religion that you're like, I'm a Christian, I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm Jewish, or I'm Islamic. Is that you believe in something created us for sure. Like for me, my thing is I believe in something created us. I don't know what.
You believe in an omnipresent.
Yeah. So something created us. And then I also have the belief that maybe it's something that nobody's even thought of. Like something like, what if it's something that nobody's even could comprehend? Whatever it is, it's incomprehensible. So it's just kind of like an omnist believes that there's a lot of truth in religion, but I don't think there's just like one truth in just one religion. I think like maybe there's truth in bits and pieces from each one, because like if you really look at it, a lot of them share a lot of common practices too.
They all do.
Yeah. So
well, the three biggest ones, I mean, not the three biggest, two of the biggest ones, Christianity and Islam, both originated from Judaism. Like if you ask from, obviously Christians believe in the Old Testament, which Christians also believe that the Jews are the chosen people and so on. And even Islam still believes in the same beliefs as Jewish people, but that Jewish people lost their way along the way. And that God took away our I guess, promise and gave it to them to be the chosen people going forwards and to spread the word of God. But regardless of all those nuances, all religions across the board share a same core belief of values. Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, being a good person. Don't kill, don't steal, don't rape, don't jealousy, adultery. These are all things that are negative in every religion. So like really those are real foundational pieces. And I actually loved a question by, I want to say it was Charlie Kirk, but it might have been Matt Walsh actually. Where does the foundation of being a good person actually come from?
That's interesting.
Who created those morals? And if you're not a religious person, right? How do you get the foundations? Because it's all based off of a perception, right? What is good versus evil? Where does that come from? Yeah. Like, if you're going based off the government, there's a lot of fucking evil there. Yeah. So it can't be there. And it can't be just from people, because people inherently, I wouldn't say people inherently are evil, but people inherently are selfish. Self-preservation is a huge thing. So if you take into account religion, it's the only foundational thing that could set the tone for what is good versus evil. How can you live your life as good? Now, I'm not saying I think the biggest problem with most religions is that people fuck it up. Yep. That's probably the biggest. I mean, take, for example, Islam. Islam has roughly 1.7, or I think it's 1.7 or 2 billion people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, and they estimate that like 20% of Islam is radicalized to like the extent of wanting to bring Islam to the rest of the world and kill the infidels and blah, blah, blah. But 20% of 2 billion people, that's more than the entire population of the United States. So like, that's insane. But the Quran itself is a book of peace. But then you take into account that people change the words of it. Or like in Judaism, we have rabbis that'll preach that Jews are higher than the non-Jews. But that's not what God created. God created and commanded the Jewish people to actually bring the light into the world of darkness, because he knew that people are going to have darkness in them. That's why he created a good and bad soul, or inclinations. And Jewish people are supposed to bring the light to the rest of the world. But people fuck things up.
One thing, too, I find interesting with religion is religion is the only thing that somebody can claim they are without actually knowing anything about. You know, like, have you ever noticed, like, I can't say I'm a doctor without having a degree. I can't say I'm whatever without having some sort of thing or excess knowledge in it in order for me to claim whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people will follow their parents' footsteps and say, my parents are Christian, therefore I'm Christian.
Correct.
And then it's like, well, how do you know you're Christian? You haven't even deep dived into anything else. You don't even know anything about Christianity. If I were to sit here and ask questions to them, they probably wouldn't know anything. Which is why my household was very interesting. My father was Islamic.
Okay.
But he had converted into Islam. He was a atheist at one point, and then converted into Islam when because Kosovo was at war and he thought he was going to die, and then he found Islam, and then that's kind of how he came about. But growing up as a kid, he told me he said, I'm Islamic. That doesn't mean you're Islamic. He said, you got to find out what you are. He said, just because I'm this doesn't mean you are. He's like, I'll show you what I believe, but just because I believe it, I don't expect you to believe it too. He's just like, find out what it is for you. So it was an interesting type of household, you know? So it's just like, it wasn't pushed on you. It wasn't like, this is who you are. It was like, find out who you are. Excuse me. Rather, it's Islam, Christianity, Judaism. And I've been to, I've been to mosques before. I haven't been to, where did Jews go, by the way?
Temple, synagogue.
Okay, I haven't been to a synagogue yet.
We call it a shul, but yeah.
You gotta take me one day. I gotta have the experience.
You gotta come for Shabbat dinner. That's
okay.
Stuff.
Say less. Say less.
Meal every Friday night.
Oh, say less. I'm down to check it out. You know, I haven't had the experience, so but I can't say I'm too well versed in religion, but I do know this. One thing I guess that's always been like I'm very inquisitive. I like to ask questions, right? Yeah. Because I feel like in order to really know, you have to ask questions. You got to find out.
Yeah.
So beforehand, we used to be hunter and gatherers, right? You used to have people that used to go out. They'd either get stuff that's in the wilderness. Now, this is one question I had. In today's terms, if somebody sees and hears things, they are usually diagnosed schizophrenic. They either hear or see things. They're considered schizophrenic. It's like if somebody were today to say, I got a message from God or I got a message from whatever else, we would probably deem them crazy, right?
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case back then. We didn't really know about, I guess you would say, neurological things or all this other stuff that could happen. And then who's also to say hunter and gatherers then ended up eating what we call psychedelic mushrooms nowadays and genuinely saw and heard things in their base reality that they saw. So it's not like they were lying. It's like I genuinely saw and heard things, but I ate these shrooms, these psychedelic shrooms that they had no idea had psilocybin. They didn't know. They were just hungry. Who's to say that something like that didn't happen, right? So it's just like these are some of the questions that I've wanted to answer that I've never really gotten answered yet. And it's just like I do believe something definitely created us because we're here right now. Something had to create us, something. And I feel like that's the main reason I've never really had one denomination that I've had where it's like, it's this or that, right? Yeah. But with that said, too, I haven't done enough research yet either. Since I know nothing about Judaism, so I haven't read anything. Full transparency, so I don't know much. I can't really delve too much into it. Yeah. Same thing with Christianity. Only thing I know a little bit of is Islam, and it's very broken too. Because like my dad taught me this when I was like 6 or 7. Yeah, and then up until I was like 8 or 9.
Also, if you can't read the Quran in Arabic, it's much harder.
Yep, like that's another thing too. I never learned Arabic, so it's I know it, which is interesting because like I know how to pray in Arabic because like that's like what he taught us, but that's all I know. So it's just like I'm not too well versed on that side. So maybe the answer is in one of the books, and I just haven't read it yet. I don't know, but
we'll do a whole nother segment. Just about religion.
Yeah,
that's something I'm pretty well versed on overall. I've done a lot of research into most religions. Most of my clients are actually Muslim. I'm Jewish. We have great relationships, which I love that too. So we're bringing unity on a level that most people don't have. But we have discussions all day about Judaism, Islam, Christianity, and there's a lot of things that I don't agree with necessarily in their religions or that they don't agree with in mine. But at the end of the day, finding the common ground and being able to have a conversation and talk to people and realize that
Mm-hmm.
we're all people and we're all children of God, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And really, God, in all the religions, God created for us to serve Him. It's not for us to serve ourselves or for us to create that we're better than another religion. He created all of us. Whether you found your path in your religion or not, your job is to bring about His word and the light to the world. So I think even if you're not religious,
Mm-hmm.
bringing about goodness in the world is a forefront above everything else. So the only other thing I would tell you to say is meditation and talking to what you believe might be the omnipresence is probably the best thing that you can do.
You know,
Jewish, not Jewish, Muslim, whatever you want to call it. But just talking to whatever spiritual being you see, that is probably the best thing you can do.
agreed. What's your take on manifestation?
I believe it's the biggest thing. I mean, I don't believe it's called manifestation. I believe, so my personal belief about talking to God and meditation to God is the equivalence of manifestation. But God is, right, we're the children of God.
Yeah.
If you want something from your parent, you got to ask for it as a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same concept. So if God is our father, then we need to ask for what we want from him, right? He's not necessarily just going to give it to you in your lap. Now, he does send you a lot of stuff that you might not see or take advantage of when he sends you. But if you talk to him and have a connection with your parent, they will end up giving to you. And does your parent give you more when you're a better child? Yeah. Generally speaking, yeah. But at the end of the day, we don't know the path that's meant for us. We don't know what the situations that God wants for us overall, especially for our souls to be in better places. So, messages that we get from God, we don't know what they're for. Even sicknesses or things terrible that happen in our lives. We don't know what the actual ultimate path is forward, But manifestation, I think, is hugely true. I think it's a real thing. I believe strongly in talking to the omnipresence and, really telling him what you want in this world. And I think he'll help you guide you there. I truly believe that.
Same, honestly. I think it's very strong.
Yeah. But looks like we're running out of time here today. So we will continue this and have a much more in-depth discussion if you would like.
No, I'd love to.
And go through religion and everything. But either way, Dardan, I appreciate for you coming on board today.
My brother.
Fucking awesome.
Let's do it.
May we all bring greatness to this world and bring, peace and unity and love and respect, and especially also in the music industry, music industry is a cutthroat industry, right?
Oh, yeah.
So bringing respect and love and helping grow artists on a natural, level and bringing them a place that they can come to as a community. What you're doing, Discord group chats, like that's huge. That's a different level of record label or recording studio that most places that I've seen don't have that. So good for you guys on doing that, and I hope you guys have much success. And I hope that we can possibly do something in the future with an artist together. I think that'd be awesome.
No, it'd be awesome. One last thing, guys, just in case y'all don't know, we do have a collab with Nude coming out. 1331 Records, X Nude. We're just waiting for customs. That's really about it. As soon as they send the package through, we're good to go. If everything goes through correct, which I'm hoping it does, we're going to be giving a few of them away for free, just so for the community, for you guys to try it out. We will be available at all of the Arc Smoke Shop locations and a few others. And if y'all haven't already too, definitely try out Nude. Super fire. Super fire. I'm going to leave it at that.
Baby. I love it. Thanks for the shout out. For those that don't know, Nude is one of our brands that we manage, own and operate. We do all the marketing for them as well. And yeah, of course, we love doing collabs with people. Helps get our word out, helps get their word out. And we're all about building community, right?
1,000%.
That's what we've been talking about. So spread the love, spread the joy, and hopefully have some good, sexy time in the bed. That's what we're here for. So thank you for joining us, guys. Click the like button, subscribe down low. Appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown me.
Appreciate
and us. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Good shit, brother.